I don't have a note card. It just seems it kind of throws me off whenever I do use one, so I'm going to try to remember it as best as I can from, rehearsing it from before. But, all right, so my speech is over addiction. And whenever we think about addiction, it comes in different ways. And for someone to be able to describe what is addiction, well, they're not going to be able to describe it accurately because every single story is different. So from the beginning to the end, it's going to be a constant battle in which the user has been able to kind of go through their brain and just express themselves in a very chaotic way. There are also many different people in which it affects that, some people could have very functional lives. They have been able to maintain their hygiene, place a roof over their head, maintain a job, have a relationship with their family and friends, and be able to keep that in the closet. And it's very rare that happens because there's always indicators, and ultimately it will lead in the same ending, and that leads to a road of unmanageability. But on the other hand, there are people, as an example like me, that couldn't handle a substance or alcohol or anything like that because the emotional capacity in the brain, the chemical imbalance that happens whenever you use or drink, it becomes too much, and we try to rationalize that in any form to be able to keep using, but the thing is that when it comes to addiction, we think that we're happy. That we all think we're happy. But in the end, it kind of narrows it down to if you really just want to keep yourself healthy. And so whenever an addict looks in a mirror, for instance, it's like whenever you really feel as if one part of yourself has been hidden, and you're keeping it hidden on purpose, but you have this other life where you really want to be happy, you want to be involved in all of this, everything that your friends are doing, and you want to be a part of that process of being able to just be there for people. And that was one of my experiences, and I have learned from those experiences that being able to be there for somebody else, it also means that you have to be there for yourself. And so many addicts don't really get to sit with themselves like that when they're in addiction. So it takes on a chemical roller coaster whenever we use. And so we'll have very high highs and very low lows. It all just depends on the interaction and our perspectives at the time. But whenever you finally get to that bottom, it's a very different story. And that's the ultimate end. Everybody will have a different bottom. It just depends on if you actually get to the point where you want change, where you want to affect change. And then there are some people that get to that bottom where you can no longer rise back up. You come to the end of your road. And in that aspect, it hurts others more than it hurts yourself. And that's where the other side comes into effect, where once you get into that feeling of sobriety, where everything is finally clear, that's where we say, don't stop until the miracle happens. A lot of things that leads up to the sobriety portion has been a road of chaos and unpredictability and unmanageability. But that's our learning lesson. Whenever it comes to addicts or alcoholics, or, you know, there's also other types of addictions, like there's sex, and there's also food addictions, and, you know, other ones. You could probably think of them, but it all leads to one simple fact. If you're ready for change, then you have to be willing to affect that change. So in the end, it's all about being very self-aware and being very knowledgeable of your surroundings and the resources at your disposal. And if you see somebody that might be on something or going through something, then it really does help to be able to have those resources at hand. And so if you read up on addiction and everything like that, you'd be able to help people whenever you meet them. And if they don't want to be helped, you have to be okay with that too. But ultimately, addiction, whenever you find a common ground with yourself, and whenever you come from addiction, it's a very slippery slope. You can always go back. But if you really want it, then there will always be grass that is greener on the other side. But anyways, that is my take on addiction. It's probably not my full take, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. Thanks.